Have you ever heard of somebody getting entangled in a mortgage scam, met, totally locked up in a legal battle because of some kind of scam that they got suckered into? My name's Miles Pitcher. I am a loan officer. I want to cover with you today some of the mortgage scams that we're aware of so you know about them, and some tips on how to make sure you don't get taken or totally robbed on one of these scams. Let's jump into it. So, I want you to just remember, first of all, that there is a lot of information out there available to people that they can use to make it look like they are official, they know what they're doing. For example, there are public records out there that show your name, your address, what your loan amount is, who your current loan servicer is, when you got your mortgage, whether it's an FHA, VA, USDA loan, or if it's a Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae conventional loan. So there is a lot of info out there that people can have and know about your mortgage. In addition to that, right now, the when you get your credit hard pulled by the credit bureaus, they are actually selling that information off to other people. They call them trigger leads. And in that trigger lead, they will know what your credit score is. They will know if you have any mortgages on your credit. They will have a good idea of how much consumer debt you have. So they know a lot of stuff about you. So, with that in mind, you have to be very, very careful. So, let's keep going here. So, I'll give you some examples of the scams, and we're going to move through a lot of stuff today. So, anytime you go into default and start moving towards a foreclosure, that is a public record. You're going to get bombarded by calls, mailers, telemarketers saying, "We can help you get out of this." Be very, very careful of that. Um, if they ask for upfront money, boy, just walk away and be careful with that. So, those are scary. Um, Loan modification, these are people who come in and say, "Hey, we are going to help you to modify your mortgage, get more favorable terms, maybe a lower interest rate, maybe amortizing the loan over 40 years," and they will ask for an upfront fee. Those are scams. And in fact, we know several people who have um, been fined, jail time, lost their licenses when they were doing some of these scams of modifying loans. Bait and switch basically is saying promising one thing and then at the last minute switching it to another. Um, just be very, very careful on that. Sometimes what people will do is they'll tease you with a killer interest rate, but then at the last minute they'll show that you have to pay a bunch of points or buy down the rate to get that. Be careful of that. Equity skimming. So this is where somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I want you to buy this house. You're going to be on there on title, just whether because you have a good job, good credit, whatever it is." And they'll tell you, "Hey, we want you to buy this as though you're going to own or occupy primary residence home. No intention of moving in, splitting the equity, the profits on the home, whatever it is." That's equity skimming, and that's a straw buyer. That is illegal. Do not do that. Reverse mortgage. Uh, this is getting better and better because in order to do a reverse mortgage, you have to have some third party counseling that makes sure that the seniors understand what they're doing and that they're not being taken advantage of. Nonetheless, if you are a senior looking to reverse mortgage, make sure that you're working with someone who's licensed, reputable, has experience doing them, and you may even want to get a second opinion. If you have a financial advisor, they are a good person to talk to say, "Hey, who do you recommend for a reverse mortgage?" Loan flipping or churning. This is where somebody just refinances a client over and over and over again. Closing costs add up. They get rolled into the loan. The loan officer collects their commission, but really does not benefit the client. That is called churning. There are laws that watch those and require that there is a true net tangible benefit to the borrower, but just be careful of that. Always good to get a second opinion. Phantom help scams. This is just, I'll give you an example of this one. Very often in our county where there are public records and somebody buys a home, they will get tons of junk mail. Some of that junk mail says that you have to pay an extra fee to get a copy of the trust deed that you just had recorded on your property. And the fact is, you can get that for free from your title company, but people are trying to scam you and get some money paying for something that you can get for free. So be careful of those. This is a big one, servicing scams. So just be aware that anytime your loan is sold or servicing is sold from your current servicer to another one, they have to send you a goodbye letter, and then the new company will send you a welcome letter, and those should match up. We always recommend that you call up your old company who you know your loan has been with and say, did you sell my loan? And if they say yes, they'll tell you who it's to. Just don't trust that letter that says your loan has been transferred to someone else. Here's where you make your payments. Be very careful on those. Upfront fees. Yeah, if you have people asking you to pay a ton of fees up front, go get another opinion. The only time we really ever ask anyone to pay anything up front is to pay for the appraisal, and that is legit. Yeah, just watch for fake government-backed modifications. What this looks like often is a letter that comes in the mail that looks very official, like it's from FHA or some official government entity telling you that you are eligible for some kind of modification or there's some urgency to what you're doing. Be careful, call your loan officer, double check things on those. Home improvement scams. This is where somebody just has you go use your home as collateral, maybe pull out some debt for some repairs, and the work never gets done. Maybe you give them a large deposit up front and they totally take the money and run. Be very, very careful of that. Document forgery. Don't ever sign a document that has blanks on it. Make sure it's all filled out. If somebody's asking you to transfer ownership, title to your property, that should raise some really big flags. Again, talk to people you know and trust. Your financial planner, your loan officer, your realtor, even your CPA can help you know if what you're doing is right and a good move. Credit cleanse scams. Boy, we see a lot of credit repair companies out there that they charge you a monthly fee, and really what they're getting done is kind of not accurate, true. So just be careful on those. Be very, very careful. We do have some good companies we can recommend to you if you need a good credit repair company. All right. Tips to avoid these scams. We'll go through these quick. Continue to educate yourself, learn about them. Always make sure that who you're dealing with is a licensed professional. You know what their license number is, and you've gone online and checked to see if that's accurate. We've talked a lot about getting recommendations from people you already know and trust. Please do that. Read everything carefully. Do not just blindly sign things. We've seen that cause problems. Second opinion, always highly recommended that you get a second opinion from someone that you're doing something wise and smart, and just making sure that it makes sense. Licensed professionals, already talked about that. Upfront fees, you should not have to pay for significant upfront fees. If they're asking for it, probably go find someone else. Unsolicited offers, just be careful of those. These are probably people using public information, public records to try to mislead you and get you to do something that you shouldn't be doing. Always check with your attorney, financial advisor, loan officer, realtor on things. So you can report suspicious activity, whether that's state or federal. on these people, and then keep all the records so that you can have evidence of what was said, or emails or texts or letters sent to you. Um, be careful in sharing your personal information. Be slow to share your information. Okay. Um, just make sure that the person you're talking to all checks out before you start handing over your social security number and things like that. And then understand, hey, there are times like in a refinance that you should be able to cancel the transaction if you don't feel good about it. There's a rescission period. Um, Man, watch for scams and emails. I warn my team all the time. If you don't know who is sending you the email, don't click on the link. If it is a link to click on, be very, very careful. Um, make just, yeah, be careful on the emails. I always tell my team, if the attachment is an HTML document, it's probably fraudulent. So just be careful. Um, Love this one. Watch your credit report. You can get a free annual credit report every single year, and just keep an eye on that. You may even want to put a freeze on your credit, which is totally cool to do. You can do that with all three bureaus, and then you can unlock the freeze when you need to do some kind of transaction. Yeah, be careful of quick fixes. Ask lots of questions. Boy, if they're putting high pressure on you, just slow it down, take your time. And then making payments, just be careful who you're sending the payment to, make sure it all checks out. And then the CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, great spot to keep abreast of some of the latest alerts and scams going on. If you have any questions or anything I can help with, here's how you can get a hold of me and my team. Thanks for watching.